Yeah. And so for Fieldmagic, you had your ICP really well defined, right? So how did you organize your go-to-market for Fieldmagic, and how were there any like big learnings where you had to pivot or change your approach because the first just didn't work?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, we actually weren't very well focused to start with, so that was our first big mistake. We thought we could build a field service platform that we could just sell to anyone, right? And very very quickly that becomes a race to the bottom in terms of price, and the challenge with that is that there's often not enough money to really do a good job of the product or the implementations, things like that.
Can I
So
double click on that a little bit because it's something I see
yeah,
so commonly with startup founders? Like, when do you start realizing like your target group is actually not specialized enough, and or how do you balance against, well, but then my total available market would shrink. How can I even sell that to myself or to investors?
yeah, yes. Look, I think for us it was an expensive mistake. You end up paying. So in the early days where we were really just focused on trying to find product market fit, we were paying Gartner for leads effectively. So they own many of the lead generation websites for software, the likes of GetApp and Software Advice and various
Yeah,
others.
yeah.
And so effectively, it's a pay-per-click model. People are looking for a certain type of software. You pay to be higher in the list. They go to your website, they fill out a form, and you get in touch and you have that discussion. Now, the problem with that is that you get a lot of leads, and that's very validating in that it tells you that, hey, there's a strong market here. But it also means that you end up talking to everyone, right? So you're paying for the leads. You're often talking to people that are talking to seven, eight, 10 other providers.
By definition,
And
right? If they
it's,
come from a source like
yeah,
that.
exactly. So, which was actually okay in the early days because there weren't as many competitors. But very quickly we realized that that was not going to allow us to scale. And we found that there was a certain type of customer that where our feature set, our set of offerings really fit better than others. And so we ended up just really accelerating the development around those feature sets and making sure that we were unique in that space. And yeah, at some point, you're kind of hooked on these leads from someone like a Gartner, and you're paying X thousands of dollars a month for those leads. But 90% of those leads are not really the leads you want.